Hey champions, got a question for you. Have you ever been in the comparison trap before? Do you judge your personal success based on the success of other people, on how they're doing determines how successful you are? Have you ever done that? Well, good news, I have something for you. I'm Chris Gloss with Step Outside Your Comfort Zone. By working with me, I'll help eliminate the obstacles that stand in the way from where you are to where you want to be. I want to share with you some early warning signs of comparing yourself to other people to help you along your journey. Theodore Roosevelt may have said it best when he said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Comparing yourself to other people will rob you of your own personal joy, rob you of productivity, rob you of the ability to continue to move forward in a healthy and productive way. Comparing yourself to others can put you on a path of self-sabotage where you will end up stop doing what you're doing way too early in the process. So I want to share with you some early warning signs of comparing yourself to others. The first early warning sign I want to share with you is number one, you don't know your worth. Here's the deal. I want you to start putting some respect on your name. It's great to give people their flowers while they are alive, while they're doing the things that they love to do and they're at the top of their game. That's perfectly fine. But let me tell you something. You got to begin to put some respect on your name, because when you don't, it's a sign that you do not know your own value. You got to learn how to take inventory of what makes you so special. Keep this in mind. Your uniqueness is what separates you from everybody else. That's something to be celebrated. There are good things about you. You were sent here on this planet with some very special things on the inside of you. You may not know what those things are. You may not have been able to identify completely how special you are, but you gotta know. You gotta know that your worth is very valuable. You cannot diminish your value by putting somebody else on a pedestal and putting yourself somewhere in the back in the closet to be forgotten about. No, you got to know your worth. And when you don't know your worth, you don't put any respect on your own name. That's an early warning sign that you're comparing yourself to other people, because you don't recognize the inherent goodness and how valuable you are on this planet and into the lives of other people. There are people that are depending on you. There are people that look up to you. Trust me on this. In life, it feels like at times no one is looking at you. No one's watching you. You're being creative. You're putting your message out here. No one's paying attention. That is a lie. That is so far from the truth. Write this down in your notes. People are always watching. Trust me on this. You can have, if you pay attention to social media, it will throw you off track. People are always watching. You may not have the views, you may not have the subscribers, you may not have the likes, you may not have the comments. Trust me on this. People are watching. They're watching. They're looking at your every step. And as you continue to go on, they're looking at that consistency and that discipline. And if you just continue to go on, you will see that people were watching you all the time. There is a tipping point that will take place if you keep going, but you're only going to keep going if you know your own worth, you know your value, you know you showed up with some very special stuff that you're going to share and put out here into the universe. So number one, an early warning sign that you are comparing yourself to others is when you don't know your worth. Number two is when you become someone else. When you start to be someone else, it's a sign you're comparing, because you don't feel like you'll ever get to that level. So when you have mentors and you have people you look up to and people you respect that you put on this high pedestal, and they're out there and the world is loving them, people are gravitating towards them, so you become them. Now, big distinction here. I want you to recognize that it's very important that you have a model, someone that you can model after. Now, when I say model after, I'm not saying become that person. No, that's just somebody that you could focus on that's doing what you love to do at the level you would love to do it, and you can pattern yourself after them, but don't become them. When you become them, you are robbing us of your greatness. You were sent here to solve a problem. The purpose on your life is going to solve a problem for other people. So we don't need a carbon copy of your mentor. Your mentor is doing fine just the way they are. We don't need a carbon copy of them. We need you. We need that special stuff that you have. Those special ingredients that you bring to the table. That's exactly what we need. But if you become them, we will never know how valuable you are because you're just a carbon copy. You're just a duplicate of them. We don't need you to be someone else. And when you start acting like someone else, it's a sign that you are comparing to them to the point that you don't want to be like them. You want to be them. And that's a very dangerous place to be. Yes, model after, pattern after, listen to, get the advice, get the coaching from these people, but don't become them. People aren't looking for carbon copies of your mentor. They are looking for you. There is a tribe of people that's waiting for your message, waiting for your song, waiting for your book, waiting for your cakes, cookies, ice cream, food, whatever it is that you do. There are people waiting for it, so don't be someone else. That's a sign. That's an early warning sign that you compare yourselves to other people to a very dangerous level. Number 3, another early warning sign you're comparing to others, you are doing things too early in the process. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to this one. When you do things too early in the process, it will cause you to fail. It will cause you to abandon your dream, goal, and vision, and you will never tap into all that inherent good stuff that's on the inside of you. What do I mean by doing things too early? How does that show up? So it's like when you're looking at your mentors, your people that you are following and patterning after, you want to do everything that they're doing right now. You want to be on the same stage they're on. You want to have the same shows they have, the same level of production they have, the same level of attention that they have, and you're not willing to do the work, but you have money. So you invest in all of these things. So you have all of the things necessary to do it, but you skip steps. And when you skip steps in the process that helps you be able to be as great as you want to be. So when you do things too early, you go out there and get all of this stuff, but don't even know how to use this stuff. It's a trap. It's a trap because you will be overwhelmed. Trust me, I know this personally, and many people around you could testify to this fact that when you get all this stuff, you're going to have to learn how to use this stuff. What's the appropriate application to use these things that you have? Because you went out there to do all this stuff, you invested a lot of money, you paid for a production team, you paid for people to follow you around with cameras, and now you don't even know what to do with all of this stuff. Don't do things too early. You're going to have to grow into these things. Don't do them too early. There is a concept that businesses fail because they grow too fast, and that could be you. Your dream can be buried because you are growing too fast. You can't even fit into those shoes yet. There are some experiences and things you need to learn along the way. Now, coaching can solve that. You can go out and get some great coaching to help reduce the time frames to getting to where you want to be. That's absolutely true, but you're going to have to get the coaching. Don't just think you know what to do. Don't watch 2 videos and say, hey, I'm an expert at this now. I can go ahead and do this. No, it's going to take some time, and you're going to bump into some things along the way. Have you ever went bowling before? And you know how when you go bowling and you don't really know how to bowl, or you go to the bowling alley and you see kids bowling, they put up those little bumpers so that the ball will be able to roll down the lane and eventually hit the pins and sometimes even get strikes when that happens. Think about that in life. Those bumpers that you're bumping into along the way on your journey are helping you to become more accurate so that you can get more wins in life. So those bumpers are in place to help you grow. Don't show up at the bowling alley of life and tell them, oh, I don't need any bumpers. Oh, I'll put those things down. Those are for rookies. Those are for amateurs. Those are for people that are not at the top already. You're about to hurt yourself. You're about to hurt yourself. Don't put those bumpers up so that as you learn and grow, you can be successful even in the early stages of your growth, in the early stages of your journey, because you have those bumpers there in place. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise those bumpers. All right. Can you promise to do that? All right. Let me share a few things with you about how to overcome comparing yourself to other people. Dale Bronner said something that I love. He says, don't compare, don't compete, and don't complain. Those are the 3 C's. That's because you need some vitamin C in your life. Put that in your notes. Get some vitamin C. You need the vitamin C of life. Don't compare, don't compete, don't complain. The first one, who should you compare with? Who should you compare with? Yourself. You don't need to compare with no one else. It's you against your industry. It's you against the work. It's you against the practice. It's you against the field, not the other players. It's not about you comparing yourself to the other people who are playing the same sport or doing what you love to do. No, you are so focused on comparing to yourself. How well are you doing and how well are you getting better? What type of investments are you making into yourself so that you can become the best, the absolute best that you can be? That could be coaching, that could be books, that could be seminars, that could be conferences, that could be anything. But it's about comparing to yourself. It's comparing to the work that you're willing to do every day. Now, you can't compare yourself to the work other people are doing because you may not have the financial benefits other people have to invest in themselves. So that means you're going to lose 100% of the time because they're going to stay far ahead of you. But what people can't compete with, people can't compare with, they cannot compare with who you are. They will fail at trying to be you. So the more you compare yourself to yourself, the more victories that you're going to rack up because you're not focused on them. It's you against your path, you against your journey. That's who I want you to focus on comparing with. So then that brings up the natural next question. The second one, who should you be competing against? You should be competing against yourself. How do you compete against yourself? That doesn't sound logical. It doesn't make any sense to compete against yourself. It sure does. I want you to begin to compete with what you did yesterday. Compete with what you did last week, last month, last year, last 5 years, last 10 years. Keep your statistics. Maintain and track how you do every day. So for example, today, I want you to compete against what did you do yesterday? Did you do more research today? Did you execute more today? Did you make more phone calls today? Did you make more relationships today? What did you do today in comparison to yesterday? Not what somebody else did yesterday, but what did you do yesterday? That's who I want you to compete with. Compete with yourselves. I want you to get in the start position, get ready to run your race, but you're running against you. And I want you to beat yourself from yesterday, from last week, from last month. So at the end of the day, judge how did you do against yesterday. At the end of the week, how did you do versus last week? At the end of the month, how did you do against last month? At the end of the quarter, how did you do versus last quarter? At the end of the 6-month mark, how did you do against the previous 6 months? Then how did you do against the previous year? And then you just keep on going with that. It's competing against you. That's a more healthier way to look at things, because when you try to compete with someone else, it could lead to frustration and the temptation to give up, to cave in and quit. So only compete against yourself. Can you promise to do that for me? Absolutely. Number 3, what does complaining solve? Nothing. So stop it. It's often said, quit complaining because nobody want to hear about it. When somebody asks you, how's your day going? And you start to complain and share with them all this negative things about your day, what's happening to you, why you can't win, why other people are winning, why you keep failing. Nobody wants to hear all that. You don't even want to hear all that. So why continue to do it? It's time to get laser focused on what you're doing, your plan, your execution, and forget about complaining. Complaining to me is the entry place to your comfort zone. The comfort zone is a great place to visit, but there's no growth in the comfort zone. The comfort zone is also known as a dead zone. You do not want to be in your comfort zone. The only way you're going to win is outside of your comfort zone. And I believe complaining is the entry place into it. It's the reason why you perceiving things can't happen. Here's something I want you to write down. When you do all you can, God will do what you can't. Let me say that again. When you do all you can, God will do what you can't. So stop complaining. Just keep going. You want help from on high. You want heavenly help. You need supernatural help to assist you where you are. Quit complaining. Put your head down and go. Stay focused on your plan. Keep executing every day. It's going to get better if you don't quit. Just keep taking those steps forward. Well, what if I can't run anymore? Well, walk. What if you can't walk anymore? Well, crawl. Just keep going. I don't care if you have tears in your eyes about the journey. Just keep going. Keep taking those steps that's going to lead you to the place that you want to be to help you along this process. But here's what I do know. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's the thief of success. It's the thief of getting better every day. It's the thief of consistency and discipline, which are two critical components you're going to need for success. Forget about it. Stop comparing to other people. In the words of Bronner, don't compare, don't compete, and don't complain. Hey champions, I hope you got some value out of this message today. If you got some value out of this message, do me a huge personal favor. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now. That's right. Go ahead and click it right now. And I will promise you that we will stay connected, and I will continue to share inspiring, encouraging message with you to help keep you outside of your comfort zone. Go ahead and hit the like button and leave a comment for me. Let me know one thing you got out of this message today. And I look forward to seeing you over in the next video. And until then, go ahead and watch one of these videos right here. They're good.